Having some technical difficulties here.
Why don't you try and call me back now? Okay, I'm on a strong internet signal now.
Okay, what's happening is we're having technical difficulties. Please bear with. Okay, I can hear you. Now let me try clicking this. And now, let me just see. So can you just say, so apparently either I can hear you or the software can hear you. It doesn't want to do both.
I'm here.
Oh, you gotta love technology. I'm trying to think of what I can do to get it working. Because for some reason it.
Okay. I can. Can you hear me? You what? I'm uh I'm here at my drive-in movie theater. I'm gonna get even closer to my Wi-Fi signal.
Activate everything on Twitch, and we are live. Okay. So if we're all set, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. This week on Geekodrome, I am joined by author uh, Josh Frank, who is the author of Giraffes on Horseback Salad, which is the collaboration between Harpo Marx and Salvatore Dali. So how are you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing good. I'm here at my little urban drive-in movie theater. That is my day night job, basically, and help finance my book, as most day jobs do. uh,
Oh
Going towards
wow!
your
So
art, you know.
so anybody can come and use your drive-in movie theater there?
Yeah, we're open to the public Thursday through Saturdays, and we also are available for private rentals. Tonight we have a private rental.
Oh sweet. So
And
where are you
actually, I think
located?
for
Oh.
it's in Austin, Texas, Central Austin. Where are you?
I'm up in New York.
Oh, cool.
So, but I have visited Austin quite a few times for South by Southwest. Love it there.
Yeah, it's a good place. Where in New York?
Right outside New York City in Westchester.
Oh, I went to SUNY Purchase.
Okay, yeah, I'm not too far from there in White Plains.
Spent many a night at a diner in White Plains in my youth.
Well, we have a few good ones out here, so.
You do. Yeah, I went to film school there, which is how I learned a lot of the stuff actually that I needed to know in order to pull this book off.
Cool. So, where did your first inspiration come from for this?
Well, my previous books were all like sort of lost history related. My first one was about the band The Pixies. My second was about new wave theater, Night Flight, David Lynch, and sort of this lost Hollywood punk rock world of the '80s. My third one was a sort of lost story of the first French pornographic film, an idea from Black Francis of the Pixies. And so throughout my writing, I kind of got really into these different books. I got really into like sort of searching out great lost stories, especially ones that sort of shed light on people that are heroes of mine with stories and ideas that hadn't been discovered yet, or that really kind of brought to light new things about these great iconic people. And so when I was thinking about what to do for my fourth book, I decided to look up all of the great unmade movies of the last 50, 60, 70 years and see if there was one that had a great story behind it, that I could maybe even sort of finish the movie in a way as a graphic novel that also tells the story of the artist trying to make the film and what went wrong. And in all of these lists, there was always a mention of Giraffes and Horseback salad. And I grew up being a huge Marx Brothers fan, so that really appealed to me. And
Yeah, I
I,
just want to point out that there's this great picture of you as a fan
yeah,
of Harpo at a young age.
yeah, that was me, I think, at around 10 or 11 for Halloween. I was a
Yeah,
big
so
fan of the Marx Brothers as a kid. I was one of those weird kids that everyone else was, into, Def Leppard, and I was into the Beatles. Everybody else was into Freddy Krueger, and I was into the Marx Brothers.
yeah, but it's quirky people like that who make the most interesting art. Nothing interesting really
Uh,
comes from the mainstream.
right, right. Well, there's enough people to do the mainstream, right?
Always. But you're talking to Black Francis, and nobody would claim him to be mainstream or normal.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true. I mean, my whole writing career started with the idea that the Pixies story would make a great book, and no one had really thought about that. So I reached out to him during his solo years, before they got back together, and I pitched him the idea of doing something with his story. And he was receptive mainly because I told him the story of the time I reached out to Werner Herzog and asked permission to stage a Werner Herzog film right out of college from SUNY Purchase. And he said, well, anything that's good enough for Werner Herzog is good enough for me. So he gave me permission to do my first project.
Oh, that's great. So, what happened once you found the script or the idea at least?
So I found the listing in these long lists of great unmade movies, and I scoured the internet 5 or 6 years ago for any other mentions of it. And there were a bunch of mentions, but they were all very brief. They were like a paragraph, and they all had similar information. There just wasn't a lot of info on it. So I became pretty obsessed with finding out more info than anyone else had come up with at that point. That's always sort of the fun challenge for me, and so I spent a good year and a half tracking down any other small pieces of info I could find. And then towards the end, I hit the mother lode with 80 pages of handwritten notes that Dali had written that were at a museum archive in Paris. And I convinced them to send them to me. And they sent me PDFs of these 80 pages of Dali's notes. And I hired a friend of mine that speaks French to translate them for me. And once translated, there was just a lot of good material to work with. And that's when I realized, I might actually have enough material to do something with this. And it was very exciting, but it was still like the very beginning of whether it was possible or not, because I had to put a proposal together and write enough sample material to pass by not just one very old estate, but two. And so that was sort of, how it all came about. Once I
How
had
often
enough material,
how often do either of those estates actually let anybody use their material?
this is the Dali estate saying, hey, I want to do something completely new with Salvador Dali. Usually it's because they want to use it for like a biography or for an article. They want to use a picture of him. So what I was going to the estate with was something really different. I wanted to turn him into a character and create a graphic novel, and no one would have done that. And with the Marx Brothers, again, nobody had come to them and been like, I want to do something completely different and completely new with that. A lot of people have come to them over the years wanting to do biographies, and like there's been many attempts to make a biographical feature film about them. But I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to do something really weird and like outside the box and off the rails. And I think that both estates were sort of like a completely different idea to do with, with the brand, and they wanted to see where I'd go with it. And I think they pretty much were sure I wouldn't be able to pull it off anyway. So why not see where it goes? But I was thrilled when I turned in the final draft to both of them, and they were both very pleased.
Oh, it's great that they both loved the script that you made from it.
Yeah, basically I turned in the whole graphic novel, in a sort of unfinished form from the final. So they really got to see it, and it was totally scary because I'd spent 6 years putting this together, and then it all boiled down to that one first look that they both had of the final product. I wasn't showing them as I went along. So that was pretty scary. I was pretty afraid the whole thing would fall apart every day for the 6 years I was working on it, and it almost did about 200 times.
Is there any one exceptional time where it really felt like it was not gonna happen at that point?
100 of those. And, in the early first 3 years, I went through 4 or 5 different illustrators that, trying to find the perfect one. I had one that was set to do it. We had a book deal. The book deal fell through. The illustrator fell through. I found myself back to square one with nothing. And my agent telling me, well, you lost a publisher. Your book's dead now. Because once you lose a publisher, it's like tainted or something. Even if there's a good reason, which there was. So that added another year and a half. I just didn't give up. I was just like, there's no way after all of this book is not going to happen. So, but yeah, there's a lot of ups and downs. Funny enough, never having to do with the actual output of the book, the actual, it never was like, oh, this book is crap, we have to start from scratch. Like, the creating of the book, the writing of the book, putting it together, that was actually the easy part. It was all the other things, which I'm sure, can be applied to many projects.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've had quite a few of those myself. But you just persevere and hope that the right people find it.
Yes, and find workarounds, I had to find a lot of workarounds over the years in order to get to the next step. And there was a lot of those cart before the horse things where it really seemed like there was no way the horse was going to get there because the cart was not moving, and but we did it, and I'm thrilled. And the response has been really great, and fans of the Marx Brothers and fans of Dolly both seem really pleased with it, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, I read it. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Was there any feedback you got from the Dolly or the Marx estates where they liked or didn't like something specific?
Actually, which is amazing, I mean, the only thing, and again, it was one of those last minute things where I was like, oh my God, like, this is gonna fall apart, is that at the very end, like days before the book was gonna go to print, the Dali estate asked if we could put in some of Dali's original notes, which made it into the book. And I'm so glad they did, because I think they're a huge asset to the experience. But we were just so focused on finishing the book in time that we really didn't have time to consider extras, until the last minute. And they felt very strongly about putting some of those in there. Well, that's not necessarily a problem. But then it turned out that because those were you know, those had their own U.S. rights situation that we had to deal with a whole other person for, and it was clear that Dolly really wanted them in. The publisher didn't want to worry about putting them in because they were so worried about their, the time frame of getting it to the printer. And so I was stuck right in the middle of this, trying to make everyone happy, trying to make the book the best it could be, and it got down to the last minute, all about these just extra images to put in the book, and that was one of those things. It's I spent 6 years getting this whole thing, writing this book, getting the permissions, doing all this stuff, and it's all coming down to these 4 images that are going to just, the whole crash the whole thing into the sea. It worked out, but it was totally stressful. And again, you do a 250-page book, you dot all your I's, you cross all your T's, you put this amazing package together, having Dolly and the Marx Brothers, and it's so neat and cool. And then days before you're going to turn it in and pop the champagne, you're up at 4 a.m. pacing, wondering how you're going to pull off getting these extra 4 images in. But I'm glad we did because I really like having the extra content in there. I feel like it adds a lot.
Yeah, it definitely adds texture, seeing what his original intent was, his original ideas, and you even got some writing from Harpo Marx's son, which I thought really added a lot as well.
Yeah, I really wanted to have a little forward by him. I feel he's so important and such a gift that we still have him today because who he is, his character, his personality, it's still connected to his father and his uncles and his spirit to have in the world while working on this book. I feel like he's very much a part of it, part of his son, Bill.
Yeah, and it really felt like Bill was supportive of the project and really wanted to continue the legacy of the Marx Brothers through the book.
Yes, he really saw what was special about it and how it's kind of this was a good project to make something new with, to carry it on, and I'm so grateful to him, and you could tell he's as kind and supportive as his father was, and that he got that from him, that light, that energy.
Yeah, and it's just great to hear that it can bring this to a new audience, because I don't know how many kids today are actually familiar with the Marx Brothers, even.
Good format for sort of younger generations to kind of get a taste, It's in color, that helps. And, yeah.
Well, I actually love the use of color, how the mundane world is kind of a black and white, shades of gray, and then we meet the surrealist woman, and color gets introduced. And the Marx Brothers are very colorful against the backdrop of reality.
It was one of those sort of things, it's well, Marx Brothers movies are in black and white, and we're going for sort of authenticity here. So technically, this movie should be in black and white. But then I realized, well, this is a movie about a woman that can create whatever world she so desires. So, let's start it in black and white, like it would be in the movie, but when the surrealist woman enters, we have a reason to bring it into color. And so I feel it worked very well in that way.
Yeah, it definitely added a whole dimension to the book. So who was the artist?
Ella Ortega, she's from Spain, Barcelona. She's incredible. My greatest hope with this book is that she gets lots of work from her, because she so deserves it. This is her first major project. I discovered her because I didn't have an illustrator halfway through the project, and I've been sort of chomping at the bits to find someone that not only could sort of nail what it needed to be, but that would be a good partner. And also, it goes back to that sort of authenticity thing of how do we make this the most authentic? And so I found this website called Behance, which helps you find illustrators and graphic designers around the country and around the world. You're actually able to search for them um, through like a search window, and you can look at whatever country, whatever city, whatever town, and get very specific. So I searched in Spain. It's like, well, this is about Dali. The perfect person would be from Spain. And so this website catalogs people's portfolios for you to look through, and if you like someone's art, you can reach out to them. And so I looked through her portfolio on Behance, and it was amazing. And I reached out to her, and I said, "Hi, I'm in Austin, Texas, and you're in Barcelona, Spain, and I've got this project." And she wrote me back and was like ready to go.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and her art really is fantastic. Just to show up some of it. I mean, she's got such great line work, such great use of color. It really added to the whole story and wouldn't have worked without it.
It's emotional, it's seductive, you know.
Oh, definitely. And you had assistants writing some of this from a rather famous name.
So I realized that I really probably could use some help with the comic parts, because there were four Marx Brothers, you know, and I'm one person, and it just didn't seem like one person, especially a person who's not necessarily, you know, a pro with comedy. And I mean, I can write it, but like I would never assume to be able to write like the Marx Brothers. So I was like, maybe I should split this up. And so, you know, I asked Black Francis, who knows a lot of comedy guys, who do you think's the most surreal comic out there? And he said, well, definitely Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric. And I said, do you think you could put me in touch with them? And he said, yeah, and he did. And we met for lunch in LA. I flew out there, and I pitched him the idea. I was pretty sure he was going to be like, that's a really neat idea, but it's not for me. Because it's not the kind of thing he usually does. But what's interesting about him is he is the kind of guy that's interested in trying different things, being challenged, doing weird things. So he said he was open and on board. And he had this really great idea to bring in a little writer's room of some of his good friends, some of which were Marx Brothers fans. And together we kind of like threw the ideas back and forth in order until we found sort of the right gags and jokes. And it was great. And so although his contribution was short, it was like 2 or 3 days, it was vital to making the whole thing work.
Yeah, I mean, reading it, it definitely had the voices of the Marx Brothers, especially in the more surreal scenes. And you see
I'm glad you
Groucho
got
just
that.
walking through.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like we really got it. I'm shocked. I mean, again, it's like I wasn't sure. I wouldn't have bet that we were going to be able to pull off people actually buying the Marx Brothers humor, because not only are we not the Marx Brothers, but it's a book. So there was a lot going against people, you know, feeling that vibe. But we worked really hard to try and get it. And I think partly because we were kind of humble about it, and like, you know, like we're not worthy, you know, like we were aware of that fact, that we pulled it off just enough, you know, that it worked, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I grew up watching the Marx Brothers movies too, and like I could totally hear Groucho and Chico in these scenes. I don't actually know what Harpo sounds like, but beyond the horns, but you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was really fun writing Groucho and Chico stuff too. Like I was able to do some of it. like a good amount of those lines were mine, but particularly with Chico, it's interesting. I discovered I could write Chico pretty well because he's sort of the everyman of the comic trio, you know, like. But Groucho's humor is so much more layered and full of that Algonquin roundtable wit, you know, that that it was a bit of a reach to keep it up. Like I could do like one or two, and then, but I needed 15, you know? And so that's what I did. I would write the first two or three of his lines, and then I would write, just like Dolly did in his notes, for his pitch, insert Marx Brothers Mayhem here. That's what Dolly wrote. He didn't actually write any Marx Brothers good gags. He wrote weird Dolly gags, but he knew that real gags needed to be in there, Marx Brothers stuff. So he wrote insert Marx Brothers Mayhem here. So I did that in my script too. I would get a couple of Groucho things that I was like proud of. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good Groucho line. And then I would sort of be like, that's all I got. And then I'd write insert Marx Brothers Mayhem here, and that's when, you know, Tim and his friends and me in this writer's room kind of added the remainder of the page.
So your process was as collaborative as Dolly's and the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, the Marx Brothers, their jokes were completely collaborative. They worked on them together. They even worked them out in front of audiences before shooting them. So, you know, it definitely, by following their way of doing it, we were able to kind of, you know, mimic it, you know, I think in a way that, you know, worked.
Yeah. So because you treat the whole thing as a movie, especially in the introduction, you're saying it's the as if the movie was created back in that period. Have you had any thoughts about creating like an animated version of it as opposed to just this book version?
From your mouth to the studio head's ears. I hope so. I mean, I can't do it. It would cost a lot to
Oh, I
do
don't doubt it.
it. But I believe me, I would love to see it as a feature, and I think it would make a fabulous feature film. Maybe not live action, maybe like animated or, you know, a CGI type thing or a mix. But yeah, I mean, I hope whether it's in a year or 5 or 10 that someone tries to do it, you know, with the book. I think it'd be great. I want to see it.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, reading it, I was just imagining it as like an animated film.
Yeah.
Um, is that something that would actually have to even go through Warner Brothers since they did all the Marx Brothers movies back in the day?
No, it would just go through the two estates. You know, it would go through the Dolly and the Marx estate, getting their permissions, and then you know, picking up the option on the book.
Oh, so that's a little simpler.
Yeah, I mean, it actually is. It's actually quite simple compared to like the 6 years that I went through to get the book happen. You know, it's all very clear now. The estates are happy with what it's become, so they would probably be open to allowing the movie to happen.
Yeah, but if both of them love it and the book gets a good reception, there's no reason why it shouldn't happen.
No reason.
No.
It
Well,
should
fingers
absolutely
crossed.
happen. Fingers crossed. Mine are. Yeah.
Definitely. So then what's next for you now that the book is done?
Well, I mean, I started like a year ago looking into like what I maybe wanted to do next as a follow up. I know I want to do another graphic novel. I really enjoyed it. I and I know I want to do something in a similar vein to this sort of lost movie story idea. And I've got a couple of ideas it's hard to find the right one because it has to be this sort of perfect union of something that's interesting enough of a story that's got some key players that people know and that has enough material to do something with, and that the estates would allow it because they're done with the project and see no future in it for anything else, you know. So it's hard to find the right one. I also am working on a possible Marx Brothers follow-up. There was an idea that Tim suggested early on in the writing process that didn't work for this one because of the authenticity thing, but it stayed in my head as something that would be kind of awesome. So depending on a number of different elements, there could be another Marx Brothers project, you know, at some point.
Well, I'm excited to see it from when it happens.
So am I. No, yeah, no. I mean, I love working with the Marx Brothers. Like, I mean, it felt like home. It felt like, you know, something that I was good at doing and maybe meant to do. And so I hope there's something else in that world that I could still explore, especially since it'd be a lot easier the second time.
Well, yeah, if the doors are already open, you can just walk right in and get access and
Yeah,
hopefully pitch it to them.
yeah, totally, totally.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on and talking about Giraffes on Horseback salad.
For liking the book and for wanting to tell your listeners and watchers about it. And I'm thrilled to be able to celebrate the Marx Brothers with everybody, with you, by sharing the book, you know, and talking about it. So this is why I did it.
Well, where they can find more about you or the book online.
The book has a website, www.horsebacksaladbook.com. There's also some extras, and you can hear some screaming samples of the soundtrack, which is the whole other element that we decided to do in order to finish the film. And the actual soundtrack is going to come out in about a month or month and a half through a major label. But in the meantime, the website has the ability to listen to some of the songs now.
Will there be recordings of all the songs that are written out in the book?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's one of the big things with the Marx Brothers back in the day was that they all musicians and sang songs.
Yeah, we really made a point of trying to recreate that.
All right, and you'll be on tour soon to promote the book as well.
Be in LA on Thursday at the Egyptian Theater showing a Marx Brothers double feature. And then I'll be back in New York actually May 21 at the Chelsea Music Hall doing an event.
All right, we'll have to go and try and check that out. All right, well, that's it for this week. You can find us on Twitch at Geekodrome. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and hit us up on Twitter. Can't even say it, at Geekodrome Pod. So until next week, thanks for coming on, Josh. And we'll see you all next time.
All right, bye-bye.